What's up guys, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you how to replace the original stock rev trigger in the Nerf Strife with this 3D printed trigger that I sell on my Etsy shop. So this method works with any Strife that I've tested so far. That includes the Battle Camo Strife, the Modular Strife, the Orange Strife, the Blue Strife. I think that's pretty much all the Strifes that there are out there. But today I'll be using this brand new modular strife that I took out the box today. So in order to get started, we have to remove all of the attachments, including the magazine, the barrel, or any stock or rail attachments that you have. So how you take off the barrel is you twist, and it'll slide right off. Same with the magazine, you press the button here, and pull out. You see here, there are a lot of screw holes. We gotta remove all of them using a Phillips head screwdriver. These are Phillips head screws. Okay, so what I did here is I unscrewed all the screws. I didn't remove most of the screws so that the shell can just butterfly open. You don't have to remove all the screws. You don't have to remove them. They'll stay in there. Just be careful not to lose any of the screws. And you can set this side of the shell aside for now. Okay, so once you take the shell cage off, you'll see the internals. This is a pretty simple semi-auto setup with the flywheels at the front, the pusher, main trigger, rev trigger, and the mag release. This is what we'll be focusing on today. Be careful that you don't lose this rail attachment piece and the axle inside of the jam door. So you can either put that in a bin or just be careful of where you put it. So what we'll do first is unscrew this silver screw right here, the Phillips head screwdriver. Once you do that, it'll reveal the trigger, the spring, the trigger lock, and the micro switch. So we can easily slide this piece, the trigger, out with a spring. Be careful not to lose this spring, it's very important. We'll be removing this lock. This lock prevents you from pushing this trigger when there is when you don't press the mag release. The rev trigger. So we can take this spring off and put the new trigger on, and just slide on it just like that. You can slide it back into place. You're pretty much all done. All you gotta do is put the cover back on. Make sure you don't do it too tightly, or else it'll clamp down on the trigger too much and it won't push. And you're all set. This you don't need, and you can throw away. Same with the trigger. You can throw away it if you want, or you save it for a different project. So this works for this simple strife mod, or any other strifes, such as this full auto strife. This trigger will work for most mods that you'll do. And I love the feeling of it, because the round is really fun to press, I'd say. Don't forget to put the jam door back in. Make sure that this axle lines up with a second hole here. Slide right in. It can be open or closed, doesn't really matter. And the rail attachment piece slides into the slot right here. You're all done. Now we just put the top cage back on, being careful not to lose any of the screws that are still loose in there. So carefully fit it back on, and it should push back together. Now all we need to do is screw it back up. And don't forget, we have our screws here that will fit into this hole, and this hole. Okay, once we are done with that, we are complete. and the trigger is nice and snappy. If it gets stuck like this, that means that you tightened it a little bit too much. Loosen it up a bit and we're all set. One thing to make sure that you do is that these screws are not made to be unscrewed and screwed constantly. So like this screw, it can get worn out, and once it gets worn out, it'll be really hard to do any further mods to it. So while you're doing it, be careful. And if you're using some kind of drill like this, you have to be even more careful with that, because these can strip out the screws in a matter of seconds. So thanks for watching today. If you're interested in purchasing this, you can visit my Etsy shop. I'll put a link in the description below. I have a lot of other fun stuff, interesting things you can buy there. So please check it out if you have any spare time. Thank you.